The Sega Ages series has been widely regarded by fans for faithfully restoring and re-releasing some of Sega's classic arcade and console titles to newer platforms. While the vast majority of these re-released titles remained Japan exclusive for years, that didn't stop fans from importing and experiencing these classics for themselves. And it certainly didn't stop me either. So today we'll be taking a look at the Sega Ages Memorial Selection Volume 2. Released in 1997 for the Sega Saturn, this compilation includes 6 Sega arcade games from 1979 to 1985. This collection also remains the only official release for these arcade-perfect ports, from what I've gathered. First up is Samurai, the oldest game in the collection, and it definitely shows. This 1979 action game has you fighting off rival samurai while dodging shurikens being thrown at you from the top of the screen. I'll give him an A for effort given the limitations in the time period, but man, this game has aged poorly! Movement is insanely stiff and unresponsive that it makes me wonder how anyone could have put up with this game. Sometimes I'll have him move to the right, and he just doesn't move. The sword fighting isn't exactly intuitive either. Each time you swing, your sword will attack at a different angle. There are 3 different angles you can attack at, but you have to keep pressing the attack button to cycle through them, which will leave you vulnerable to the throwing stars from the top of the screen. And I'll give them a pass on the music, it was 1979, they probably hadn't figured that out yet. I don't believe Samurai should be forgotten, it certainly has its place in the Sega arcade pantheon, but there's a reason this one never made it to the States. Next up is Monaco GP. I've already talked about this one on its own during F1 month, but I figured I'd briefly mention it. One thing to note that this also came out in 1979, the same year as Samurai, and unlike Samurai, Monaco GP still holds up today. It's fun, challenging, and accessible to anyone. Starjacker. This one is your standard overhead space shooter, but with an interesting twist. When you start out with 3 lives, you play as all those ships at once, each one firing along with you for additional firepower. The catch is that you're more vulnerable to taking hits when you have more ships with you. As you lose ships, your firepower will downgrade, but you'll be more agile in navigating through enemy fire. The game forces this risk-reward system upon you, but it makes the game better for it. It provides a cool, unique challenge that stands this game apart from its contemporaries. I don't blame you if you've probably never heard of it, because I never heard of it before now. Sinbad Mystery. This cheeky little Pac-Man clone isn't anything too remarkable, but it does have a unique treasure hunting mechanic. Every dot or question mark you pick up reveals a piece of a treasure map. The map shows a picture of where in the level the buried treasure is located. You have to collect all the pieces, dodge the enemies, and dig up the treasure. The variety is nice and the multi-level mazes are pretty cool, but it didn't really keep my attention for very long. Next up is Doki Doki Penguin Land. I had to look that one up. This puzzle platformer has you navigating your penguin as he tries to get his egg to the bottom of the level without it breaking, while dodging enemies and other level hazards. This game is very tricky at first, and led me to writing it off immediately as a piece of complete garbage. But after I stuck with it, I kinda enjoyed it. If they made a sequel today, I probably wouldn't play it, but hell, I'd probably buy it. Last up is Ninja Princess, released here in the States as Sega Ninja. Or some of you may recognize this one more for its Sega Master System port, simply titled The Ninja. This game is fast-paced arcade action at its most pure. Dudes just running at you and you shoot them down. Real simple, but it has a very nice feudal Japan presentation to it. As the Ninja Princesses, you run forward while taking down ninjas before they take you out. There's 2 fire buttons, one shoots in the direction you're facing and the other shoots forward, giving you the upper hand in the fight. I can't really get past the second level in this one, I'd do much better in the Master System port, but the game seems like it has a lot of replay value along with it, which is really nice for this collection. Of all the games in the collection, Monaco GP and Ninja Princess are my personal favorites. They hold up today as fast-paced action-packed arcade classics. It's also pretty great that this collection has such a diverse selection of games ranging from racing, shooters, and puzzle platformers. Sega Ages Memorial Selection Volume 2 gives you a lot of bang for your buck, and it should because this game isn't the cheapest thing in the world. Prices can range between $30 to $60, but if you find it for a good price, this one deserves a place in your Saturn library.